If this NASA scientist is right, we might only have a few months left before it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right. I'm going to show you this article right here. I mean, it's on the internet, so it's got to be true. And everything is correct on the internet. I saw an article headline, so oh my gosh, the world is about to end. I mean, the article looks legit, the website looks nice, and I mean, well, I don't know what to say about the actual reporting itself, but what I'm going to do, you guys, and I'm just being facetious here for a minute because it amazes me how people get so freaked out sometimes over headlines and they don't even read the articles. And then when they do read the articles, because the writer puts them together in a way to where you really have to keep track of what they're saying, otherwise they'll kind of discombobulate things and create these new monsters and boogeymen. Well, somebody reached out to me and said, look, can you please tell me if you think this article is legit? I said, sure, no problem. So it took me a few days because I've been very busy. So I just took a look at it. I'm going to break this down now and show you guys how good the media does spinning things. And not just the mainstream media. I mean, we're talking little tiny mom and pop shop type deal. I'm not going to say mom and pop shop. That's kind of an old term. Let's use the verbiage basement news websites that some people feel is the absolute truth. That's one of the reasons myself is, me personally, I'm very careful with claiming things to be fact. I say do your own research, come up with your own conclusion. This is the evidence that has presented itself to me thus far. So anyway, I'm going to share this article with you and a few other articles. There's this comet that's been discovered, and the media is having a heyday on it. Then this person claims that one specific person from NASA claims that we're due for a world extinction level event type catastrophe because an asteroid's eventually going to hit us, and we're 16 million years overdue essentially. So I'm going to shut my video off now and share this information with you. This is absolutely frightening. I'm so scared right now. I'm thinking about going inside and having another cup of coffee after I get done with this podcast. That's how freaked out I am about it. Okay, so here's the article. If this NASA scientist isn't wrong, 2017's got a month left. So what happens? Well, that gets picked up with search engines. Then it's going to get picked up on specific conspiracy forums, and people come up with their own conclusions. Now, if you do the actual reading of this article, it talks about a person by the name of Dr. Joseph Nuth. And this gentleman is got a ton of accolades. I mean, very, very intelligent person. He works with NASA, the Goddard Space Flight Program or agency, and he discovered this comet right here. And, well, I'm sorry, he didn't discover this. I take that back. He didn't discover this. This was discovered by NeoWise. It's a project you can actually get involved with, but I'm going to just show you some of these images here. So the way this article is essentially put together is they take a bit of what Dr. Joseph said, essentially. He did say that Earth is due for an extinction level event. So virtually every mainstream news and conspiracy forum that had an opportunity to get their hands on this material posted it as quick as possible. But what happens is different websites, such as this one right here, the person that wrote this together, and I don't even, I'm not knocking this person by any means. I just think I'm actually more knocking people that will read a headline and then come up with their own conclusion and then freak out 10 other people that they know, and then those 10 people freak out 10 people that they know, and then everybody gets freaked out and thinks the end of the world is going to happen. And then you go outside and you look at Venus, and you think that Venus is Nibiru, or you think that Venus is too bright, so Nibiru must be around the corner and everybody's going to die in a week or two. Buy a telescope, punch in the software. You can pick up software that's old, that hasn't been updated recently. Type in Venus. It'll take you to that bright star in the sky that sets or that rises in the west. That star helped me get home the other night, by the way, when I got lost out in the Guadalupe Mountains National Park, which was awesome, by the way. And I'm digressing again. So yes, it's Venus. It's that simple. And then you look at images where somebody will take a picture that'll be zoomed in X amount %, X 100, 200%, whatever, 2,000%, 20,000%. It doesn't really matter. You look at this image that's zoomed in, and it looks like a transparent orb that has holes in it. Well, that's because of the equipment and the magnification of the object. It looks great with my telescope. I picked my telescope up for less than $1,000. And I can see it. I can see the eclipse type sensation that it has. The first time I saw it, I didn't know what it was. So I asked some questions on a YouTube video that I did and said, what is it? And people said, well, that's natural with Venus. You're going to see that eclipse like you will with the moon. I said, okay, I feel like a dork now, but thank you for sharing. That's what we do. We ask questions, we get the information, and then we go with it. Yet, when we come up with all these ridiculous conclusions because we see a transparent orb, and then we think it's Nibiru, and then we all, gather together and say, what are we going to do? There's this giant transparent orb in the sky, and the chemtrails are making that invisible, but then we can see all the other stars and all the other planets. I mean, let's use some logical sense here. So, in regards to this specific article, let's go back over to this comet that was discovered. And it's pretty big. I mean, the thing's about the size. It's anywhere from 0.3 to 0.6 miles in width. And you can look at the trajectory here, the charts of it. And it's going to be, according to these charts, the closest at about 30 plus million miles away from the Earth. That's a long way away. So I don't think it's something that we have to worry about personally. Yes, could they be fudging the numbers? Absolutely. There's a lot of these out there that we haven't discovered yet. I get it. Absolutely. Yet, instead of worrying about something that's 33 million miles away and just reading a headline and getting freaked out about it, let's do our own homework, our own due diligence. And I'm sure 99% of the time, approximately, things are going to be a lot better than we assume. We are intelligent people. We have access to tools and equipment and knowledge and resources now that weren't available 10, 20 years ago. We just have to look for it. Now, at the same time, I appreciate conspiracies. I love a good conspiracy. It's fun. And oftentimes, it's a lot funner to think about the possibilities because that gets your synapses going, they get your adrenaline going, your body starts, just the juices start flowing, essentially. You guys know what I'm talking about. And, this is the gentleman in reference, Dr. Joseph Nuth, very intelligent person. I started reading through all of the accolades and awards and education that this person has. Very intelligent. And there certainly might be an extinction level event on the horizon. I mean, there probably always is that possibility. And I'm sure there's technologies available, like we had Alexander on the other day from Israel talking about 6th generation nuclear weapons where something the size of a golf ball can essentially blow up a planet. So, is an asteroid due to crash into the Earth, sparking mass tsunamis? Yeah, sure, why not? Is it going to happen? I don't know. What do you think? Are you really worried about it? And if you are, what are you doing about it? Maybe if you are that nervous about it, get prepared for it. Those hours and hours a day that you spend blogging about transparent orbs that are magnified 30,000 times so that bright star in the sky can't be Venus, well, and that's going to cause destruction. Well, maybe take half of that time and start building yourself some type of storage shelter, figure something out, get some skills. Get some product, put those together. Or, do what you feel is important. I mean, if you feel it's important to look at those orbs that are transparent and magnifying 20,000 times, so you think that Venus can't be real now in the sky and that's got to be Nibiru, hey man, that's cool. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their own unique approach and flavor on things. So if you really feel that's the case, then right on, go with it. But oftentimes I feel that people just kind of get stuck in that hysteria where they start doing these cyclical dances in La La Land and are their own, they're chasing their own tail, essentially. People oftentimes chase their own tail. I did it for years. I still do it sometimes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm certainly not perfect by any means. Far from it. I'm just trying to give some recommendations because I've had many people reach out to me with news articles and links saying, is this legit? And then you read the article, and if you just do any discernment, I mean, here's another thing, too. I looked up this guy, Dr. Doiman Darren Zakharovic, which is supposedly a Russian astronomer, and he was also a part of this article that says this asteroid that supposedly, this asteroid that's going to be about 30 million miles away from Earth at its closest point, well, according to him, that's a lie, and basically it's going to cause these mass tsunamis. It's going to hit the Earth, and there's going to be millions dead. I can't even find this guy. All I can find is a whole bunch of articles that have been rehashed with that name. I mean, I don't even think this person exists. I mean, look at this. There is no validation for this guy. Who is he? I mean, I could be wrong. He could be on page 7. I don't know. I just haven't been able to find him yet. I find that very interesting. So we'll go back to this asteroid here again for a second. That's supposedly going to, cause this mass tsunami, and this is it right here, you guys. Over 30 million miles away, and of course the mainstream media picks up with it. The conspiracy forums. That's my rant, and just keep in mind while people freak out over transparent orbs in the sky or a picture of Venus that's been magnified 30,000 times. Well, while people are worried about that, let me show you some real possible situations and events that are unfolding right now. Like, how about Fukushima? That's an ongoing event. We don't talk about that very much anymore, do we? Well, you can pull up here on the more details link. And I find this very interesting. It is catastrophic. This is absolutely catastrophic. It even says it right there. The highest level available, damage level, catastrophic. This has been ongoing since 2011. We're in its 6 years now, almost 6 years. And number of affected people, 0 dead, 0 injured, 0 missing, 0 evacuated, 0 affected, 0 foreign people. Yet it's catastrophic, and we all know that needs to be updated. So if you hit on the description here, you can see that it hit 530 sieverts per hour at one spot. And I've got people leaving comments in the comment section saying that I'm completely a fearmonger because I pointed this out, and that nuclear energy is safer than coal and it's better for the environment than coal and solar and wind power. And even though it only produces 10% of the energy that the world uses, we need it all. So I'm just a fearmonger, ladies and gentlemen, because nuclear energy is absolutely good for you, according to this. I mean, how about the people you hear about and read some comments? Supposedly people just like to drink plutonium, and they, I guess that's readily available for some people to be able to just drink plutonium and uranium and swim around in it, and they're just fine, no big deal, according to these comment sections. I think we need to do a podcast soon on the 10 most retarded, I'm sorry, I'm not going to use that term anymore, the 10 most ridiculous comments on YouTube. They're probably on the Leak Project channel. So anyway, this is my rant, ladies and gentlemen, and also I want to let you know, support our sponsors. I handpicked the best of the best, stuff that actually works and is effective, like GetTheTea.com. Talk about a plethora of natural health products. I know Ronnie personally, he formulates a lot of this stuff. It is creme de la creme. This stuff actually works. It helps. It's good for you. Also, if you're interested in precious metals, check out Noble Gold Investments. Great product, great price, great service. Also, check out foodforliberty.com/RexBear if you're interested in 25-year plus shelf life foods that are organic, non-GMO, a whole bunch of different liquid vitamins and supplements there as well. And make sure to use the code LEAKPROJECT, please, when you do purchase these products. Thank you for your support. Have a wonderful day. Question everything and be the change you want to see.